A few years ago, monsters began disappearing mysteriously from the continent of Gaia. Investigation revealed these monsters were instantly transported into another realm. To move between realms is the ultimate, long-cherished dream of all wizards. The determined wizard knew replicating this transfer meant the culmination of his research. Standing on the perfect magic circle, the wizard confirmed the coordinates and mana flow. Drawing immense power from the great labyrinth, he lifted his arms and arcane book. With burning, ecstatic eyes and a wide grin, the wizard shouted, "The hour has come." The dimensional transfer activates. Brilliant purple energy consumes the elated wizard entirely. The dimensional barrier hums, engulfing the wizard in pure arcane power. A blinding white flash momentarily consumes the entire labyrinth chamber. Chaotic energy stabilizes, forming a brilliant column piercing the sky. The wizard registers the shift. The air shifted, the temperature changed. With a fierce, ecstatic grin, the determined wizard shouts, "I have succeeded." He materializes in a desolate, ash-covered, rocky new realm. The dust settles around him as he surveys the strange, silent landing zone. Suddenly, a flicker of doubt crosses his face. He urges himself to wait. The utter barrenness of the vast landscape hits him with sudden shock. Horror dawns. Has the dungeon made the crossing without me? The chaotic energy stabilizes, forming a violent, swirling dimensional gate. Startled, the young man stares wide-eyed at the sudden purple anomaly in his home. His face tight with shock, he questions the terrifying existence of this gateway. The moment of collision brings a sharp, decisive break in reality itself. Time skips forward. The new world is a bright, bustling, modern urban center. Meanwhile, enthusiastic observers praise Jun, calling him the absolute best. Jin-hyuk Kang, a Class D hunter, envies those dedicated to their passion and purpose. Jin-hyuk admits his old path is closed, but quickly denies staring at anything. His partner demands focus, reminding Jin-hyuk they are far from finished working. The hunter pulls the New Day express delivery truck to a stop in the lot. Taking a break, Jin-hyuk reminds his partner of a hunter's high tolerance for cold. The surprised partner realizes hunter resistance applies to all classes, calling it a winter win. Jin-hyuk's partner questions why the hunter chooses delivery work instead of hunting gates. Looking away, Jin-hyuk Kang admits money is too tight for full-time hunting. Jin-hyuk agrees, noting the powerful guild's tyranny is aggressively growing. The curious partner asks if the guild's aggressive behavior has a specific cause. Jin-hyuk explains a killer has been targeting high-class hunters for a month. Jin-hyuk's partner yells out, questioning his sudden decision to leave. Jin-hyuk senses the danger, recognizing a genuine cry for help nearby. This must be a monster attack, signaling a breach into the world. Civilians stampede in panic as Jin-hyuk stands resolute amidst the chaos. The terrified crowd rushes past, desperate to escape the threat. With focused eyes, Jin-hyuk realizes this is his only shot. He cracks his knuckles, embracing the familiar thrill of combat. Jin-hyuk opens his system inventory, preparing to equip a weapon. Glowing light surrounds his fingers, retrieving the chosen item. The Class D hunter grins, now armed with a powerful combat bat. Conventional weapons and bare knuckles cannot penetrate the monster's defenses. Only licensed hunters can strike them, so stay back to avoid injury. The unnamed partner accepts the danger and nervously tells Jin-hyuk to be careful. Jin-hyuk must act fast to control the situation before the powerful guilds arrive. He sprints rapidly towards the threat before the oppressive guilds can claim it. Killing even the smaller monsters means enough money to survive for a year. Jin-hyuk grips the combat bat tightly, preparing for the inevitable first swing. The experienced hunter appears instantly, intercepting Jin-hyuk and dismissively calling him a noob. With incredible speed and force, the powerful experienced hunter swiftly hurls Jin-hyuk backward. Jin-hyuk slides across the asphalt, cursing the Titan Guild's swift arrival and intervention. He realizes these arrogant men must be the powerful guild controlling this specific zone. The experienced hunter stares down, warning Titan needs no piggyback riders. Scram. Jin-hyuk challenges Doyeon-en, the deputy guildmaster, asking if he thinks he is piggybacking. Jin-hyuk argues he arrived first, but Doyeon-en declares this monster kill is their turf. When Jin-hyuk demands the law, Doyeon-en scoffs, noting law is not on Jin-hyuk's side either. Doyeon-en mocks Jin-hyuk's finders keepers philosophy as the hunter struggles to rise. Jin-hyuk stands, enraged by the deputy guildmaster's twisted, self-serving financial logic. Enough with your monopoly, Jin-hyuk roars, abandoning diplomacy and lunging forward fiercely. The Class D hunter rushes the deputy guildmaster, swinging his heavy combat bat aggressively. Jin-hyuk's blue eye flares with determination as Doyeon-en swiftly intercepts the brutal strike. The deputy guildmaster deflects the blow powerfully, sending Jin-hyuk spinning backward once again. The furious Doyeon-en delivers a cold, deadly final threat to Jin-hyuk. Jin-hyuk realizes the experienced hunter overpowered him in every critical measure. His trembling hand grips his weapon, cursing this desperate Class D gap. Burning with desperation, Jin-hyuk internally roars, "Why am I not stronger?" Returning from his job, Jin-hyuk was a turmoil of conflicting, desperate emotions. The dark hatred for the guild surged as he walked through his lonely apartment. But hatred quickly crumbled into profound disappointment in his own weakness. The immense, crushing sense of defeat forced Jin-hyuk to slump onto the sofa. The defeated hunter released a deep, painful sigh toward the ceiling. Frustration boiled over, manifesting a single, despairing, explosive curse. Jin-hyuk felt his sore cheek, the humiliation still stinging like seconds ago. Jin-hyuk Kang lifts his hand, sensing a strange, sudden disturbance in the air. Chaotic purple energy begins spinning rapidly, filling the space with noise. Jin-hyuk stares in horror at the massive, swirling portal erupting violently. Pure shock registers on his face as the otherworldly light consumes him. Pushing past fear, Jin-hyuk leans closer, trying to discern what waits within. Jin-hyuk Kang falls backward, staring at the terrifying face of an emerging monster. Landing hard on the floor, the shocked hunter screams in sudden realization. The hunter processes the immediate danger, a violent eruption of goblins. Jin-hyuk sees the threat, immediately calculating how to retrieve his combat bat. But the emerging goblins stand frozen, showing no awareness of his presence. The hunter stops himself, a crucial detail dawning in his analyzing mind. He stares intensely at the portal, asking if the monsters cannot see him. Jin-hyuk extends his hand cautiously toward the churning, otherworldly energy mass. He pushes his entire arm into the vortex, testing the anomaly's strange boundary. No pain, no shock, and no resistance, the portal feels strangely benign. Jin-hyuk grins, realizing this gateway means he now controls a private dungeon. A quick metallic hiss breaks the silence as the ken opens. The protagonist throws his head back, taking a series of long, desperate swigs. With a focused tap, the empty energy drink is set upon the table. Sitting in quiet contemplation, the protagonist confirms it is indeed a dungeon. The theory is now a terrifying reality that actually exists within this dimension. He collapses back, laughing bitterly. Why did it open in my attic? He struggles with the critical choice, report it or risk staying quiet. Reporting means the hunter's society agents will violently seize the location for inspection. With a final, determined gulp of the drink, the decision has been made. Jin-hyuk confirms his decision. This secret gate is his jackpot now. The sudden realization hits him hard. Monsters might cross the gate. He decides immediate investigation is necessary to confirm the danger. Armed with his bat, Jin-hyuk considers the massive, unpredictable danger. Jin-hyuk vows to enter the dungeon, ready to risk everything for power. Jin-hyuk enters the dungeon, confirming it is the labyrinth of Goblin's Floor 1. A wide, fierce grin spreads across Jin-hyuk's face. It really is a dungeon. Suddenly, a terrifying sound makes Jin-hyuk's expression snap to alert. A hideous goblin monster lunges aggressively at Jin-hyuk from the darkness. A flash of protective energy erupts as Jin-hyuk swiftly kicks the monster backward. The confused goblin retreats as Jin-hyuk realizes, it can't see me. Jin-hyuk desperately looks back at the two vacant monsters, hoping for safety. A monster slashes wildly through the air, attempting to strike Jin-hyuk. Jin-hyuk grins victoriously, realizing the monsters cannot cross his invisible portal barrier. Jin-hyuk realizes the opportunity, declaring, "If that's the case." With blazing blue eyes, Jin-hyuk roars, "I've got nothing to fear." The hunter drives his weapon down, generating a destructive shockwave of immense force. The heavy strike lands hard on the monster, shattering Jin-hyuk's combat bat instantly. Jin-hyuk delivers a devastating follow-up kick, slamming the huge monster hard onto the floor. Jin-hyuk Kang delivers a lethal downward strike, ending the terrified goblin. Standing over the corpse, Jin-hyuk pulls the bloody weapon from the monster. The wounded goblin snarls fiercely, unleashing a final desperate, raw cry. Jin-hyuk glares intensely, "Don't give me that look, I'm quite desperate myself." A powerful final strike crushes the monster, securing Jin-hyuk's complete victory. Jin-hyuk rests over the slain goblin, finally leveling up after 3 painful years. The immense struggle only fueled his bitter rage against the guild's tyranny. Jin-hyuk crouches, realizing monster remains are extremely valuable for wealth. Even a measly goblin is worth millions of won on the black market. Jin-hyuk Kang grins widely, realizing his profitable new enterprise has begun. He wonders how much this monster corpse will bring him now. Under the bright daylight, the thriving modern city stretches endlessly. Jin-hyuk arrives at the sleek, imposing structure of the trading post office. The elevator dings softly, signaling his arrival on floor 42. Inside the bustling trading post, a clerk asks Jin-hyuk what he brought. Jin-hyuk taps the digital interface, confirming his delivery of 1 goblin. Instantly, the physical goblin corpse materializes on the counter from his inventory. The trading post clerk prepares to examine the materialized goblin corpse. The experienced clerk silently scrutinizes the remains for maximum value. The clerk declares the poor condition shows Jin-hyuk Kang is still green. Holding the limp body, the clerk explains the reckless hunting ruined its market value. The heavily damaged corpse nets Jin-hyuk Kang a low price of 3.2 million won. The trading post clerk confirms the sale, demanding the source of the hunt. Jin-hyuk narrows his eyes, questioning if revealing the origin is strictly necessary now. The clerk insists the source is a mandatory legal requirement for final payment. Jin-hyuk Kang remains outwardly calm, unaware of the sudden, massive threat approaching him. Whispers confirm the arrival of the aggressive Black Dragon Guild thugs searching for someone. The imposing group of black jackets identifies their target. "Sir, it is the Red Hoodie." The distressed clerk realizes the guild found Jin-hyuk Kang here. It is perfect chaos. Surrounded, Jin-hyuk is violently confronted. "Are you the one who snatched our monsters?" The enraged guild leader grabs Jin-hyuk's collar, demanding answers the hunter cannot give. The guild leader denies Jin-hyuk is the target, confirming he is not their man. He instantly redirects their attention toward the chatting blonde hunter sitting close by. The Black Dragon Guild members quickly surround the seated young hunters, sealing their escape. Without warning, a guild member delivers a ruthless, bone-jarring punch to the victim's face. The blonde hunter is slammed down, as the overwhelming assault begins immediately. The enraged guild leader claims the victim poached monsters in their guild's territory. Black Dragon Guild members ruthlessly stomp the victim, as the leader warns others off. A shout demands the violence stop, but a boot halts near the victim's head. The guild leader stoops low over the hunter, his expression intensely menacing. "What business did you have in our area?" the aggressive guild leader demands. Grasping the victim's face, the leader falsely names him the serial killer. The guild leader demands the beaten blonde victim submit to questioning. Brutally beaten, the victim is surrounded as the leader commands, "Drag him out." The clerk bitterly curses the guilds for framing innocence on false charges now. He warns Jin-hyuk not to end up beat like the injured blonde hunter. Jin-hyuk questions how the guilds track hunting within their strict domain. The clerk reveals major guilds link servers directly with the trading post network. Jin-hyuk realizes the blonde hunter was foolish to disclose his hunting location. The worried clerk warned lying about the source meant immediate revocation and jail time. Jin-hyuk realized he was terrifyingly close to exposing his massive secret. Decisively, Jin-hyuk canceled the sale, choosing to walk away instead. Jin-hyuk turned quickly, leaving the shocked clerk standing alone at the counter. The stunned clerk demanded to know why Jin-hyuk was not selling now. Jin-hyuk stared back, confirming flatly, "Changed my mind." His gaze hardened, vowing to emerge stronger from the hidden dungeon. Gazing over the vibrant cityscape, he affirms his resolution to dive into the dungeon. Returning to his quiet home, the protagonist planned out all his necessary preparations. Assessing his gear, June wonders if he should include the expensive return stone. Though expensive, the return stone is the perfect safety measure for the deep dungeon. Jin-hyuk Kang, armed with his bat, reviews his essential gear for the dungeon entry. A close look confirms the expensive locator compass has a terribly limited range. Despite its flaws, the small device will be a vital lifesaver deep inside the dungeon. Jin-hyuk grins, noting the working device detects a single nearby monster, likely a goblin. With intense blue eyes and determined focus, Jin-hyuk steps forward, ready for the challenge. Jin-hyuk launches forward, an aggressive high-speed strike aimed at the enemy. The first blow connects fiercely, destroying the goblin instantly. Here goes one. The hunter's power rapidly increases as the system confirms level up 4 right arrow 5. With fierce speed, Jin-hyuk delivers the massive second crushing blow, 2. Experience floods the hunter once more. The system confirms level up 5 right arrow 6. Jin-hyuk finishes the third target, securing 2 explosive, simultaneous level ups. Jin-hyuk crushes another monster, leaping from level 8 to 9 in the dungeon. The grind is boring but essential. Jin-hyuk quickly drinks a recovery potion. Exhausted, Jin-hyuk sits among the dead goblins and checks his stats. Jin-hyuk checks his status screen, noting slow progress despite rising levels. Accepting the challenge, he vows to slowly maximize his stats in the secret dungeon. The hunter quickly stashes the slain goblins, preparing to resume the endless grind. Jin-hyuk collects the fallen goblin soul using the blue system interface. The system registers the new kill, displaying the goblin's collection card. The interface flashes the critical warning, "Goblin collection slot almost full." Jin-hyuk activates his gear, ready for a large monster promising serious dough. The tracking compass spins frantically, detecting the nearby presence with sharp beeps. The interface confirms one target is approaching from 9 o'clock, perfect timing. Jin-hyuk takes a covert ambush position, finding the dungeon surroundings ideal. Crouching low, Jin-hyuk tracks the approaching monster only 15 feet away. The distance shrinks to 10 feet. The hunter tightens his powerful grip on the bat. Suddenly, the large, horned helmet of the unaware target looms around the corner. Jin-hyuk lunges forward, screaming "Die!" as he attacks the heavily armored target. The forceful strike connects, sending the target's protective horned helmet flying instantly. Jin-hyuk registers the heavy impact. That sound did not belong to a monster. The shocking revelation hits him. This muscular, bearded figure is no goblin. Staring at the furious, bearded face, Jin-hyuk realizes he attacked a person. A stunned Jin-hyuk asks, "Are you all right, sir?" The wizard yells back in a foreign language. The furious wizard yells an indecipherable foreign curse that Jin-hyuk cannot understand. Knowing the powerful man is furious, Jin-hyuk quickly bows deep and offers a desperate apology. Jin-hyuk stands, explaining he never knew anyone was present down here. The armored wizard suddenly ignores Jin-hyuk and aggressively rummages inside his tactical pouch. The wizard retrieves a glowing red object and forcefully tosses it at Jin-hyuk. Jin-hyuk catches the unexpected item, bewildered that the wizard gave him a necklace. Jin-hyuk clutches the mysterious necklace, baffled by the wizard's strange gift. Confused, Jin-hyuk fastens the glowing pendant, questioning, "You want me to wear it?" A sudden, brilliant flash of power erupts violently from the glowing necklace. Blinded by light, Jin-hyuk endures the wizard's explosive and highly vulgar shouting. Jin-hyuk tries to reason with the dwarf, protesting the extremely harsh insults. The wizard's fury explodes further, escalating the aggressive, demanding insults. Jin-hyuk immediately submits to the rage, apologizing profoundly to the still seething wizard. The enraged wizard declares his 132-year dwarf life has never seen a rudeness like this. Jin-hyuk stares in shock, questioning if the powerful, angry man is really a dwarf. The armored wizard looks perfect as Jin-hyuk examines the incredibly powerful dropped items. Jin-hyuk's hand closes around the ornate, golden hilt of a fallen weapon. The system immediately confirms the acquisition, a high-value rare item. Staring at the magnificent blade, Jin-hyuk realizes, these are all rares. The enraged wizard shouts, "Hands off them, you thieving little scum." Jin-hyuk knows anyone with such superior gear must be a high leveler. Facing this overwhelming power, Jin-hyuk wonders if he should walk away. Jin-hyuk stands stunned while the angry dwarf looks at him, ignoring the dropped bat. Jin-hyuk politely taps the dwarf, confirming his immediate submission. Here, all done. Jin-hyuk attempts to fix his appearance, asking, "What are you doing with my bat?" The armored wizard ignores Jin-hyuk's plea, scrutinizing the powerful combat bat. Gripping Jin-hyuk's wrist, the wizard demands truthfully, "Where did you chance upon this?" Jin-hyuk's blue eyes widen in confusion, defensively asking, What do you mean?" The furious wizard warns Jin-hyuk not to lie about the weapon's true identity. The dwarf declares the shattered combat bat is legendary orichalcum metal. Jin-hyuk thinks of aluminum, a common metal used for his simple weapon. Why does the dwarf mistake cheap aluminum for legendary, priceless orichalcum? The wizard had invited Jin-hyuk to his forge, insisting he needed to examine the bat. Jin-hyuk accepted the invitation, tempted by the promise of rare handmade items. Surrounded by the dwarf's rare gear, Jin-hyuk questions their true purpose in the labyrinth. Surrounded by the dwarf's rare gear, Jin-hyuk questions their true purpose in the labyrinth. Jin-hyuk makes a tough call, then is summoned as a task concludes. The imposing wizard holds his glowing weapon, shouting at Jin-hyuk to stop looking. The wizard tosses an item, declaring his own gear is garbage compared to Jin-hyuk's club. Jin-hyuk's hand closes around the weapon, a powerful, shocking burst of energy striking. Jin-hyuk asks the wizard if this intensely glowing red weapon is truly his bat. The enraged wizard confirms the enhanced metal is orichalcum, calling Jin-hyuk a dimwit. The dwarf explains enchantments make the legendary metal sturdier and deep red. Overwhelmed, Jin-hyuk realizes the powerful dwarf enchanted his shattered combat bat. Jin-hyuk swings the powerful enchanted item, demonstrating its terrifying speed. Normally, enchanted items only drop from rare A-tier monsters or higher. The glow intensifies around Jin-hyuk, confirming the item's extreme rarity. Jin-hyuk realizes, this is absolutely not the same bat I had. The enraged dwarf demands answers, questioning how Jin-hyuk magically produced this power. Jin-hyuk grins fiercely, claiming his luck is finally turning around completely. Jin-hyuk reads the legendary stats, stunned by S-tier durability and auto-return. His eyes widen, realizing the immense power of this newly enhanced weapon. Jin-hyuk calculates the profit, dreaming of the massive fortune he could earn. But his excitement vanishes. The hunter knows the weapon cannot be sold. He sighs in resignation, confirming the legendary bat is permanently bound to him. Jin-hyuk confirms the binding to the wizard, noting the weapon's new return feature. Jin-hyuk calls up his inventory, feeling casually confident about his new opportunity. Looking at his weapon, Jin-hyuk knows there are other ways to earn money secretly. The system flashes a sharp ding, navigating to the monster material inventory tab. He checks his valuable haul of 20 goblin remains, plotting his next move. Jin-hyuk realizes he must find a safe selling route to avoid the hunter's society. A powerful thought strikes the hunter. He must use the illicit, profitable black market. A sweeping, industrial complex is established as the sprawling black market exchange center. Jin-hyuk Kang arrives at the intimidating, desolate warehouse facility, ready for the transaction. Jin-hyuk Kang enters the desolate complex, confirming this is the only worksite around. The assistant manager's shady business card instantly increases Jin-hyuk's suspicion. From an extreme height, Mr. Jo identifies Jin-hyuk, questioning his presence below. The suited figure smiles thinly, gesturing for Jin-hyuk to come up and join him. A suited subordinate confirms that Mr. Lee is waiting for Jin-hyuk Kang. Jin-hyuk realizes no one could stumble upon this sketchy, isolated location accidentally. Lee Jun-cheol, the illicit organ trader, immediately demanded to see the monster remains. Jin-hyuk opened his inventory, questioning the cold lack of a formal greeting. The hunter's hand quickly pressed the holographic interface to materialize the goods. A powerful flash of light erupted as the goblin remains materialized, shocking the crew. The subordinate confirms 20 goblins, just as described by Jin-hyuk Kang. Lee Jun-cheol realizes the remains are in surprisingly excellent condition. The shrewd buyer concludes the verification process is successful. Jin-hyuk Kang asks the black market dealer for the final price. Jin-hyuk demands 5 million per goblin head, including the magic stone. The buyer insists 3 million is appropriate, citing severe monster head injuries. A crew member loudly insults the useless goblin heads, annoying Jin-hyuk Kang. The excited associate boasts of riches, making Lee Jun-cheol curse his presence. Lee Jun-cheol, regaining control, adjusts the offer to a more appropriate 3.5 million. Jin-hyuk's intense blue eyes state his final demand, 4.5 million, not a penny less. Lee Jun-cheol considers Jin-hyuk's bold 4.5 million demand carefully. The shrewd dealer rejects the offer, telling Jin-hyuk to find other traders. Suddenly, an urgent subordinate rushes in, yelling a problem exists outside. The frantic crew scrambles, screaming, "We must evacuate, it's a monster attack." Lee Jun-cheol dismisses the chaos as Jin-hyuk looks shocked hearing monsters mentioned. Jin-hyuk realizes monster remains sometimes attract other deadly threats. Did it have to be this rare and terrible occasion? Jin-hyuk confirms the new terrifying monsters are 2 massive orcs. He quickly calculates that his current level cannot handle the orcs. Heavy footsteps clomp closer as Jin-hyuk secures his valuable goblin remains. Jin-hyuk and the crew sense the danger. Crap, are they already here? A colossal figure descends, threatening to crush the concrete floor below them. Jin-hyuk recognizes the brute's glowing eyes. A real orc has breached the site. The immense, armored musculature of the powerful monster fills the frame entirely. Lee Jun-cheol panics, demanding the hunter do something. Jin-hyuk glares back. Roaring fiercely, the monstrous orc charges forward, ready to strike its target. Jin-hyuk desperately leaps backward, dodging the creature's thunderous, sweeping attack. The weapon screams past Jin-hyuk's face, forcing a reaction of terror and surprise. The hunter realizes the terrible truth. They are trapped, too late to run. Forced into a tight defensive stance, Jin-hyuk questions if this is his end. Jin-hyuk intercepts the orc's massive club with a brilliant, explosive counterstrike. Stunned by the impact, the massive orc pauses, letting Jinhyuk swiftly slip away. The colossal orc abruptly halts, forced to recognize the hunter. The panicked crew watched, confused by the immense explosive impact. Jinhyuk realized the bat summoned itself, parrying the deadly blow. He identifies the proximity sensor feature, confirming the auto-defense power. A surge of fierce confidence filled Jinhyuk. Maybe he could win. The monstrous orc recovered instantly, launching a furious, devastating kick. Jinhyuk yelled fiercely, clenching the enhanced red weapon ready now. He delivered a powerful swing, connecting violently with the orc's armored leg. The legendary bat cracked the monster's defenses, drawing immediate dark blood. Jinhyuk roared, slamming the enhanced weapon directly across the orc's face. The powerful orc stumbled backward. Jinhyuk celebrated his stunning victory. The orc groans, vanquished by Jinhyuk's legendary bat's surprising awesome power. Jinhyuk Kang grins fiercely, boasting of knocking down a powerful freaking orc. The system explodes with a ding, confirming a massive jump from level 24 to 36. Staring at the status screen, Jinhyuk wonders how many levels he skipped. The suited crew screams a frantic warning, "Mr. Kang, behind you." A monstrous orc launches a surprise strike, forcing Jinhyuk to duck instantly. Jinhyuk turns quickly, angrily challenging the orc for trying to blindside him. Jinhyuk unleashes a brutal retaliatory blow, condemning the orc's ambush. The enraged hunter swiftly kicks the brute down, preparing for the finishing strike. Screaming in vengeance, Jinhyuk hammers the monster to send it to the grave. The colossal orc's eyes burn fiercely during the devastating moment of impact. Silence descends as the massive monster's struggle finally comes to an end. The enchanted weapon is pulled free as the vanquished orc lets out a final groan. Both powerful orcs are slain. The suited black market crew stares in shock. The system explodes with power, confirming an unprecedented jump from 36 to 48. Jinhyuk confirms the frightening potential of his upgraded weapon after the dual kill. Lee Jun-cheol shuts down his panicked staff, desperately trying to assess the situation. The profitable transaction was concluded, selling well above market price. Staring at the massive deposit, Jinhyuk wished this was not a dream. Resting back on his bed, the MC noted that a steady client was secured. His financial goal achieved, Jinhyuk knew all that remained was relentless hunting. Jinhyuk knows his orc kill confirmed his value to the trafficker. Hunting stronger monsters requires powerful equipment upgrades. Jinhyuk suddenly springs up, realizing he has what the dwarf needs. The thrilled dwarf will certainly toss in incredible bonus items. The grand journey continues as Jinhyuk prepares to level up again. Jinhyuk Kang is stunned, staring at the huge crate of goods meant for him. The wizard gasps, mistaking the cans for endless legendary orichalcon metal. Jinhyuk simply smirks, confirming the cans contain a special potent brew. The dwarf questions the sacred brew, which Jinhyuk reveals is just beer. The wizard immediately spits out the cheap beer in furious, violent rejection. The enraged dwarf screams that this vile drink is merely cat piss beer. Jinhyuk realizes the joke failed and prepares something significantly stronger. He offers the bottle of soju, promising the wizard a much better experience. The wizard judges the potent soju, warning Jinhyuk Kang of swift disappointment. The dwarf's eyes widen in genuine delight, finally finding a proper spirit worthy of him. Holding the bottle high, the wizard demands the drink still needs a powerful spark. The wizard intensely details his demand. Jinhyuk must first go mining. Jinhyuk Kang listens, questioning what specific valuable material he needs to find. The dwarf's powerful demand echoes dramatically, "Mine the legendary Mithril." Jinhyuk walks away resigned. Free gear never exists, even with a dwarf. Jinhyuk curses the demand, only knowing Mithril is a kind of metal. Confused, Jinhyuk questions how Mithril makes soju taste better. Jinhyuk dismisses the dwarf's logic, deciding to check around for the metal. The hunter steps into a vibrant forest area full of chirping sounds. Jin-hyuk notes the forest's reality before the system confirms a new zone. The system suddenly asks Jin-hyuk to record his location as a warp point. Jin-hyuk Kang, holding his bat, questions the meaning of this new ability. Deciding it is not dangerous, Jin-hyuk taps yes on the interface quickly. Location is recorded, and strange blue energy instantly surrounds the shocked hunter. The system announces a new warp gate connecting Zone I and Zone II. Jin-hyuk accepts the new function, noting its game-like convenience. He confirms the safety feature is active for necessary, immediate retreat. Jin-hyuk sprints forward, focused entirely on the demanding Mithril hunt. The labyrinth of canines and skeletons immediately presents a massive wolf monster. Jin-hyuk delivers a devastating overhead strike, shouting he despises the wolf's growls. The massive wolf monster recoils instantly, slamming violently into another approaching creature. The system confirms Jin-hyuk's explosive power, instantly delivering a level-up notification. Jin-hyuk grins fiercely, claiming this monster is weak compared to facing an orc. A massive swarm of rabid, fierce wolf monsters charges furiously toward Jin-hyuk Kang. Jin-hyuk watches the slain monster dissolve, realizing the swarm means massive experience. The horde advances rapidly, their savage eyes blazing with aggressive intent and speed. Jin-hyuk pivots powerfully, shattering two incoming wolf monsters with a single strike. The hunter grins, delivering a final brutal blow, crushing the overwhelmed enemy relentlessly. Jin-hyuk delivered a swift, brutal blow, shattering the ferocious wolf monsters instantly. Amidst the carnage, Jin-hyuk stood victorious over the massive, slain kobold swarm. The system interface exploded with power, confirming an unbelievable 25-level jump. Jin-hyuk calculates his profit. Kobold remains alone are worth 200 million won. Holding his bat, Jin-hyuk shouts, "This incredible wealth must be the jackpot." Suddenly, the furious wizard's voice echoes, scolding him for wasting time. Jin-hyuk realizes he forgot the critical quest. Mithril will not find itself. Stepping onto damp ground, the determined hunter confirms this is the mining spot. Jin-hyuk Kang suddenly stops, sensing movement in the gloomy corridor. He turns, instantly confronted by a horde of flaming skeletons emerging rapidly. The relentless undead charging forward were wreathed in fierce magical fire. Jin-hyuk looks annoyed. The zone's name perfectly matched the enemy type. Skeletons aren't worth diddly squat, Jin-hyuk complains, bracing for battle. The hunter launches his first powerful kick, cursing the terrible distraction. Jin-hyuk brings his enchanted red weapon down hard, shattering the first bony target instantly. The skeletal frame rattles violently as the powerful impact begins to crumble its structure. Another undead warrior strikes, forcing Jin-hyuk to block with a brilliant, sparking clash. Frustration flares. Jin-hyuk curses the endless flow of unyielding opponents. He realizes these enemies only fall when their vital glowing core is destroyed. Jin-hyuk instantly adapts, leaping in midair to deliver a core-seeking, powerful kick. "There goes one," he shouts, dodging a flaming mace attack from another foe. Jin-hyuk swings and curses the relentless, charging horde attacking him in massive packs. His eyes blaze with savage hunger. Jin-hyuk invites the entire roaring horde to attack. Jin-hyuk unleashes a massive, downward strike with his legendary crimson bat. The relentless assault continues, pulverizing the undead with blinding explosive force. Jin-hyuk stands, breathing heavily, questioning if the skeleton fight is truly finished. This lazy dwarf wants all the mithril without ever lifting a single finger. A system notification confirms the massive level 100 milestone has been reached. The interface informs Jin-hyuk his new class depends on recent furious actions. Jin-hyuk smugly assumes his brutal fighting qualifies him for the warrior path. The hunter's face tightens in confusion as the shocking results are processed. Despite ruthless undead vanquishing, the system hilariously assigns Jin-hyuk the cleric class. A full sack of precious mithril drops, completing the requested delivery. The dwarf judges the hunter, surprised he survived the labyrinth so clean. The master craftsman laughs, relieved the boy did not get himself killed. But Jin-hyuk fiercely complains of muscle pain, arguing he is not whole. The dwarf dismisses the whining hero, then asks if this is all the mithril. Smiling slyly, Jin-hyuk confirms the amount, concealing his expensive skimming. The wizard, turning, announced they would now procure Jin-hyuk's desired gear. The dwarf master craftsman asked if Jin-hyuk needed any special modifications. Jin-hyuk strategically requested defensive gear, since his bat handled offense. The hunter added a requirement: the new defensive gear must be discreet. The powerful dwarf master craftsman let a smug, confident grin spread. That request is easy as pie, the wizard boasted confidently. The grand tale of leveling up in an exclusive dungeon continues now. Back in the real world, Jin-hyuk's phone alarm vibrated loudly at 8:30 p.m. The master craftsman set down a perfect, glistening swatch of fine chainmail. Wiping his brow, the wizard proudly declared, "Good, this should do fine." Suddenly startled, the wizard looked up, realizing someone had entered his forge. "Where the hell have you been?" the dwarf immediately demanded of Jin-hyuk. The dwarf proudly presented Jin-hyuk Kang with his new custom armor. Dwarf-crafted light mail, easily hidden beneath Jin-hyuk's clothes. Jin-hyuk lifted the shimmering mail, deciding to put the new gear on. The system confirmed the armor's unique mithril grade and quality. "You done getting it on?" the dwarf demanded before Jin-hyuk grunted in shock. The dwarf brutally tested the armor with a sudden, devastating punch to Jin-hyuk. Jin-hyuk slid backward, feeling the armor's immense impact resistance. Jin-hyuk boasts that the devastating strike didn't hurt at all. The strike held enough power to completely smash all of his ribs. Proudly showing the chainmail, Jin-hyuk feels vastly stronger than before. Jin-hyuk walks away, cursing the chaotic reality of working with the dwarf. Jin-hyuk bows with sincere gratitude, confirming his pleasure with the gear. The dwarf dismisses the thanks, then lifts a giant barrel for Jin-hyuk. Jin-hyuk holds the massive barrel, questioning the dwarf about this mysterious final gift. The dwarf gives Jin-hyuk a knowing grin, demanding to know his reaction. Returning home, Jin-hyuk immediately materialized the barrel in his clean apartment. Taking a moment, Jin-hyuk samples the smooth, strange contents of the barrel. He is stunned. The liquid tastes exactly like incredibly high-end liquor. Jin-hyuk is stunned by the exquisite flavor. Is this really the soju I used to know? The wizard boasts that mithril barrels enhance any spirit's flavor perfectly. He holds up a common bottle, explaining even swill improves with the magical metal. Jin-hyuk realizes the powerful barrel instantly elevates the cheap drink remarkably. A sudden, bold, and profitable idea strikes Jin-hyuk. He ponders a new possibility. The scene shifts to a dark city street as a new, professional call comes in for Jin-hyuk. Jin-hyuk reacts strongly, questioning the urgent mention of the word liquor. Abruptly, the scene shifts to the Titan Guild new recruit training area. A desperate runner dashes toward the group, reporting a major crisis situation. Terrified recruits question the overwhelming numbers and beg to call for outside help. The arrogant deputy master scoffs, dismissing help while prioritizing his personal glory. "Don't give me that weak talk," the commander shouts, ordering containment with force. Enraged, the deputy master yells, demanding grit, readying his weapon for immediate combat. Jin-hyuk Kang arrives at the Hunters' Society, receiving his official promotion. The official questions his unique class, cleric, a primary healer in combat. Jin-hyuk accepts his Class C Hunter card, officially confirming his cleric role. Walking away, Jin-hyuk realizes a cleric healer is immensely valuable to any powerful guild. Jin-hyuk starts to speak, cut off by the severely injured man's desperate plea. Gasping for breath, the bloody hunter urgently yells, "Do we have any clerics here?" Jin-hyuk calmly raises his hand, revealing his unexpected Class C cleric designation. The panicked hunter dismisses the rank, begging Jin-hyuk for immediate critical help. The sudden battle explodes with ruthless speed as a monster is brutally pierced. Jin-hyuk Kang plunges into the fray, swords clashing against armored lizard foes. But not every hunter is ready. Jin-hyuk's unnamed partner is violently thrown back. A fellow hunter helps him up, ensuring the injured warrior is quickly recovered. Elsewhere, sheer force launches a shadowy monster figure high into the blinding sky. The hunters look up, intensely bracing against the danger, shouting warnings. The ferocious deputy master rushes into action, cleaving a monster with blinding speed. He stands over the slain monster, demanding flawless performance from his recruits. The deputy master screams a fierce, violent warning across the dangerous combat zone. Jin-hyuk and the recruits clash with the relentless horde, fighting desperately in the chaos. Close up on the raging deputy master, cursing the monster's overwhelming numbers. Explosive speed sends the deputy master hurtling toward the horde, promising ruin. He ignores a subordinate's dire tactical warning, plunging recklessly into the chaos. Jin-hyuk is ordered to help the clerics, confirming his readiness for healing work. Assuring Jin-hyuk of payment, the hunter sprints away, desperate for frontline reinforcement. Their position looks unstable, but Jin-hyuk proceeds because he is being paid. Green healing power explodes forward as Jin-hyuk initiates his support role. A frontline hunter strains, his blade barely holding against the monstrous enemy. The besieged hunter grits his teeth, fueled by the rush of unexpected healing energy. Blood erupts violently as the powerful monster strikes the hunter in a devastating blow. "ACK, healers!" the wounded hunter screams, overwhelmed and desperately seeking assistance. "This is a bottomless pit," they whisper, questioning why Titan won't call for help. Jin-hyuk agrees this reckless fight means the Titan Guild is mismanaging things. Jin-hyuk internally worries they will all soon be dead if the fighting continues. No one is left guarding the rear line to protect the vital clerics. The desperate wizard must act now, firmly grasping his heavy weapon. The wizard slams his weapon down, knowing he must hold the lizardmen off. Panic erupts as unseen enemies blindsided the vulnerable clerics from the rear. The shocked Titan Guild staff cannot believe the enemy infiltrated their defensive line. With intense blue eyes, Jin-hyuk calmly promises the clerics he can hold the line. The Titan Guild official frantically warns Jin-hyuk that he is being reckless. The panicked man points out the struggling frontline is barely holding against the monsters. Jin-hyuk explodes into action, rushing forward in a sudden burst of speed. The confident hunter shouts that he knows exactly what must be done. The grand tale of leveling up in an exclusive dungeon continues. Jin-hyuk launches a powerful, bloody strike, testing his combat limits fiercely. The hunter unleashes an explosive horizontal attack, surprised by his own power. He delivers another focused, devastating blow, declaring the fight is easy now. Jin-hyuk stands victorious over the slain monster, stunning the anxious support staff. "Crap, I let it slip past me," Jin-hyuk yells in fierce self-reproach. A massive surge of power explodes, blocking the counterattack instantly. "This reptile bastard!" Jin-hyuk screams, swinging his enchanted weapon hard. The hunter delivers a brutal blow, yelling, "Not on my watch!" The monstrous lizard recoils sharply, howling in painful agony. Jin-hyuk finishes the stunned target, slamming the lizardman onto the asphalt. Jin-hyuk pauses, surprised as strange blue energy deflects an unseen attack. A nearby monster gloats, asking if Jin-hyuk is surprised his attack failed. "Oh, I see," Jin-hyuk grins, realizing his discreet armor held firm. Fueled by confidence, Jin-hyuk unleashes a devastating, sweeping, final blow. The Titan Guild staff are stunned. Jin-hyuk is holding the line alone. They realize their survival depends entirely on Jin-hyuk's hidden power now. Confused lizard men falter, wondering what catastrophic force is destroying them. A brilliant, powerful streak of energy explodes through the chaotic battlefield. The guildmaster Sang-ho-seo moves with lethal speed, annihilating a monster instantly. Close up on the intense face of Sang-ho-seo, guildmaster of Titan. Sang-ho-seo stands victorious among the lizard men corpses and thick clearing smoke. Jin-hyuk approaches the figure, questioning if he defeated all the monsters alone. The support staff gasp, recognizing the famous Class S hunter Sang-ho-seo. The relieved Titan Guild official declares they survived and will return home safely. The official promises reward settlement after they contain the immediate threat. A powerful strike launches the monstrous foe, violently slamming it onto the asphalt. Sang-ho-seo approaches with immense, focused power, radiating high intensity. Jin-hyuk stares intently, recognizing the true identity of the Titan Guildmaster. His blazing eyes confirm Class S hunters exist on a frighteningly superior level. The superior hunter sighs, weary of endless crises and intervention demands. Titan Guild recruits cheer wildly for the famous Guildmaster's sudden arrival. Guild supervisors argue over requesting help, worried about their organization's reputation. Sang-ho-seo takes absolute command, ordering all exhausted hunters to immediately retreat. His armored fist explodes with golden energy, forcing the remaining monsters to fall back. Scrambling Titan recruits hurry to obey the fierce master's urgent warnings. The Class S Guildmaster Sang-ho-seo unleashes a ferocious, deafening battle roar. Sang-ho-seo drives a swift, overwhelming strike into the massive lizard horde. The concentrated energy of the blow explodes outwards, consuming all the enemies. The monstrous creatures face Titans in a final, violent scream of destruction. Annihilation consumes the beast as its glowing eye darkens against the power. The destructive shockwave dissipates, marking the end of the powerful assault. Hunters stare, stunned by the single strike that floored so many monsters. Jin-hyuk realizes Class S power hits only monsters, showing true, overwhelming strength. Doyeon and orders recruits to secure remains after the violent breach. The deputy guildmaster then sharply confronts En, demanding his attention. An enraged Doyeon grabs En, screaming over the lack of crucial backup, and defends himself, claiming he feared the call would make their guild look weak. Doyeon and's fierce eyes blaze, condemning the action for making the guild look weak. Doyeon and crushes his subordinate, asserting the perceived weakness was personal, and calmly rejects the accusation, but Doyeon and immediately promises to show him injustice. Jin-hyuk cautiously interrupts the fight, demanding recognition for the cleric's contributions immediately. Deputy Guildmaster Doyeon and conceded payment, ordering subordinate into the guild office. Subordinate and stared down, silently submitting to the fierce deputy guildmaster. Guildmaster Sang-ho-seo and the Titan hunters offered Jin-hyuk deep, sincere gratitude. The Titan agent praises Jin-hyuk's solo fight, finding the performance truly impressive. Jin-hyuk Kang remains composed as the scout requests his full name. The agent pitches Titan Guild membership, offering a generous waiver for immediate entry. Suddenly, a furious executive interrupts, vehemently protesting Jin-hyuk's potential recruitment. The executive dismisses Jin-hyuk, calling the cleric a low-rank Class D hunter. Deputy Guildmaster Doyeon and furiously warns his subordinate, En, to watch his words. Doyeon and shouts that without help, everyone would be dead immediately. He condemns En's arrogant image-protecting attitude for risking countless lives. Jin-hyuk Kang watches the exchange, noting Doyeon and is surprisingly honorable. Doyeon and demands a formal apology, causing subordinate En's face to darken with defiance. Jin-hyuk Kang bravely refuses the offer, criticizing the experienced hunter's poor leadership. The furious experienced hunter explodes in disbelief, charging forward with a fierce roar. "Know your place, low-life piece of," the enraged hunter screams, launching a swift attack. A brilliant, powerful crimson strike hits a defensive barrier with devastating force. The terrifying blow lands, and Jin Hyuk Kang cries out violently against the brutal impact. The front-page newspaper shocker screams of a deputy master's crushing public defeat. Executives argue over denying the assault and restoring the humiliated deputy master's honor. The executives concur. Without action, the Titan Guild's reputation will take a serious hit. The ruthless guildmaster declares uncompromised their honor, not the hunter-cleric. The furious executive detail and disastrous errors trying to save his face. Firing and is deserved. The other executives nervously resist the decision. The leader shuts down the debate, confirming the necessary action is concluded. The powerful executive commands their dismissal. The others instantly obey. A superior hunter recognizes Jin Hyuk Kang is no ordinary Class C hunter. They must recruit Jin Hyuk quickly, or his massive potential will be lost. Jin Hyuk rests in his apartment, quietly reflecting on his recent choices. Hitting the jackpot gave Jin Hyuk temporary confidence, leading to reckless spending. Jin Hyuk Kang fiercely drinks a beverage, recovering from his spent funds. Wiping his mouth, Jin Hyuk dismisses needing guild reward money now. He realizes hunting only small goblins and kobolds must stop now. Jin Hyuk stands before the glowing dimensional gate, prepared for the challenge. Holding his bat, Jin Hyuk confirms he has become much stronger than before. With a confident smirk, he declares it is time to chase tougher, bigger game. Jin Hyuk accelerates instantly, sprinting into the swirling dungeon vortex with speed. He moves deeper into the dungeon labyrinth, entering unfamiliar territory quickly. Jin Hyuk hears a deep rumbling, questioning if a monster is running close by. A colossal orc drops from the ceiling, aggressively lunging for a surprise attack. Jin Hyuk instantly registers the massive creature charging, an orc. The massive orc snarls fiercely, yet Jin Hyuk calls the attacker a coward. The brutal orc blindly slams a punch, trying to blindside the hunter. Jin Hyuk delivers a devastating counterstrike, slamming the massive orc down hard. The orc bleeds severely, as Jin Hyuk boasts he is glad it attacked. Jin Hyuk stands victorious, ready to hunt the approaching orc clan for future wealth. Jin Hyuk Kang confidently smirks, issuing a fierce challenge. Bring it ONGUYS. The powerful orc charges forward, meeting the hunter's devastating, speedy attack. Jin Hyuk surges into the combat zone with blistering speed, screaming, "Make it rain for me." A system ding signals massive progress, confirming the defeat of 20 orcs. Leaning on his weapon, Jin Hyuk smugly declares the orc hunt easy peasy now. Seeing stairs appear, Jin Hyuk resolves to push time to go even deeper. Jin Hyuk Kang walks the eerie, silent halls of what seems like a temple. The system confirms entry into the labyrinth of the Guardian's temple. Amidst massive stone ruins, Jin Hyuk Kang realizes he reached Zone 3. The system immediately registers a critical new warp point in Zone III. Jin Hyuk questions the sudden stillness, wondering if the temple is a safe haven. Jin Hyuk Kang senses the danger, startled by a massive, sudden impact. A furious eruption of power strikes Jin Hyuk, hurling him back hard. Safe haven like hell, Jin Hyuk's eyes widen with fierce realization. Of course there's gotta be a monster, he thinks, seeing the massive shape. A sweeping blow slams Jin Hyuk across the temple floor suddenly. Jin Hyuk's face tightens from the crushing speed of the unexpected attack. He raises the crimson bat, blocking the monstrous attack with a violent clash. Crap, too fast, Jin Hyuk shouts, questioning why he is still flying. Landing hard, Jin Hyuk struggles to keep his footing, resisting the force. Jin Hyuk takes a firm stance, demanding, "Hold on, what is that thing?" Jin Hyuk realizes the colossal enemy's body is entirely made of dense stone. Identifying the foe as an artificial golem, Jin Hyuk prepares a strategic strike. If so, Jin Hyuk initiates a swift feint with a low, disruptive kick. The massive golem violently counters, but Jin Hyuk effortlessly dodges the blow. Dashing away, Jinhyuk confirms the unintelligent golem fell for his simple feint. Jinhyuk connects with a powerful, cracking swing to the golem's stone frame. The massive golem collapses, leaving Jinhyuk victorious and breathing heavily. Jinhyuk Kang wipes his brow, realizing he worried over nothing important. The crumbling temple floor beneath them begins to violently vibrate and crack. Rubble explodes upward instantly. Jinhyuk shouts, terrified by the sudden chaotic force. Jinhyuk stares in disbelief, realizing the monstrous threat refuses to stay down. The colossal stone creature reforms instantly, letting out a terrifying, guttural snarl. The immense golem rises completely, towering aggressively over shocked Jinhyuk Kang. Jinhyuk slams his bat against the monster's core, demanding how it returned alive. Jinhyuk realizes this monster requires him to immediately shatter its core to die. The hunter delivers a powerful uppercut, instantly shattering the golem's massive stone body. Jinhyuk dodges the colossal stone beast, realizing in horror, another one. A shining projectile screams across the battlefield with blinding velocity. The projectile strikes the monster's core with an explosive, blinding flash of light. The force shatters the golem, tearing it apart in a spectacular burst of energy. Jinhyuk stumbles backward, realizing the critical hit was aimed straight for the core. The hunter confirms the monster's weak point was located deep in its chest. Jinhyuk, resolute, calculates the weakness must be the same for every golem. With a fierce shout, Jinhyuk lunges, ready to shatter the chest of the enemy. He pushes forward, determined to land the final, decisive blow to the core. Jinhyuk halts his frantic assault, absorbing the silence after the golem's collapse. Looking around the destroyed room, Jinhyuk realizes, that was close. He wipes the sweat from his brow, thanking the timely arrow that saved him. The hunter wonders who would risk coming all the way down to this level. He calls out, "Mr. Dwarf, is that you over there?" awaiting the answer. Jinhyuk turns slightly, offering thanks to the powerful archer for her assistance. His gratitude vanishes as the silver-haired savior grabs his arm forcefully. Her eyes blazing, the archer aggressively demands to know who he is. Jinhyuk stares back, completely confused by the sudden, fierce confrontation. She attacks his strange garments, asking which clan has kept him locked away. Jinhyuk is violently shaken but protests loudly, "I only entered this place today." The confused Jinhyuk questions the archer's sudden aggressive challenge. The fierce silver-haired archer demands to know if Jinhyuk is sure. Jinhyuk confirms his entry, pressing her on the dungeon's true exit. The archer swiftly lunges, violently grabbing Jinhyuk's arm in the ruin. Jinhyuk is violently tossed onto the rubble as the archer plots her escape. Jinhyuk rushes forward, gripping his legendary weapon tight. The fierce half-elf demands Jinhyuk reveal the dungeon entrance path now. Jinhyuk, annoyed by the sudden demands, immediately notes her stunning beauty. The powerful mercenary guarantees payment, demanding Jinhyuk confirm her high rank. With a confident smile, Lucia the half-elf expects immediate fame recognition. Jinhyuk Kang looks confused, admitting he does not know her identity. Lucia declares herself a platinum-grade mercenary, holding up her badge. She fiercely pushes the platinum badge forward, demanding Jinhyuk accept her identity. Jinhyuk stares intently at the shiny badge, replying, "I have no idea." The frustrated half-elf questions Jinhyuk's ignorance of her mercenary badge and world. Jinhyuk names his origin, asking why an elf is suddenly here in Korea. Lucia realizes the strange names confirm the dungeon crossed into another realm. Lucia fiercely presented her badge, shocked Jinhyuk knew nothing of her rank. Jinhyuk countered her arrogance, naming his home, Seoul, Korea. Lucia realized the dungeon had violently crossed into Jinhyuk's world. Lucia confirms she can use a reverse spell to return to her realm. Jinhyuk calculates the dimensional threat if Lucia takes the dungeon home. Lucia calms Jinhyuk, delaying her departure until a secret is found. She discovered a hidden chamber while desperately seeking an exit route. Lucia requires Jinhyuk to defeat a boss guarding the secret chamber. She offers invaluable combat knowledge and the monster's full reward. Jinhyuk weighs the excellent deal, deciding quickly to accept the quest. Jinhyuk unleashes a massive, enchanted strike directly against the orc's armored face. The immense creature collapses violently under the overpowering force of the blow. Meanwhile, Lucia executes a graceful, blindingly fast aerial combat maneuver. Jinhyuk fiercely punches another orc as a colossal brute looms nearby. Lucia delivers a devastating, explosive kick, shattering the enormous orc's defense. Jinhyuk delivers a final, crimson strike, destroying the panicked monster with power. The powerful duo stands victorious as the remaining orcs fall back instantly. Jinhyuk recognizes Lucia's brutal power, confirming her legendary reputation is earned. Lucia confirms his strength. "I must say you're not bad." Jinhyuk grins, deciding cooperation is necessary, then responds with proud confidence. The fight concludes, leaving the temple ruins silent under the dim, ancient light. Jinhyuk asks Lucia how much further they must travel into the labyrinth. After relentless exploration, a loud growl of hunger echoes from Jinhyuk's stomach. Jinhyuk, slightly embarrassed, requests a break to grab a quick and necessary snack. Lucia confirms the location is temporarily safe from any devastating monster rush. Jinhyuk immediately tears open his rations, seizing the brief moment of rest. The tired partners rest quietly, Jinhyuk eating while Lucia drinks from her flask. Jinhyuk watches Lucia as she calmly manages her gear during their necessary recovery period. Jinhyuk offers a mundane modern snack to his platinum-grade half-elf companion. Lucia confirms Jinhyuk's name, commanding him to drop the formal address. Jinhyuk hesitates, uncomfortable with casual talk for someone so much older. Lucia instantly draws an arrow, demanding fiercely, "So much what again?" The intense half-elf asserts, "I'm quite young for an elf, just so you're aware." Jinhyuk offers chocolate bars, sweating nervously to diffuse the awkward age tension. Lucia immediately softens her tone, assuring Jinhyuk they are now cool. The half-elf sternly returns an item, claiming she does not eat just anything. Suddenly, Lucia violently devours the offered chocolate with overwhelming, shocking intensity. Stunned, Jinhyuk watches as Lucia desperately kneels, demanding the hunter supply her more. Jinhyuk confirms the devastating truth. The sweet chocolate supply is exhausted. Lucia laments missing a feast, ignoring the 3 boxes she just devoured. Lucia shows no regret, licking her lips before beckoning Jinhyuk to continue their journey. Jinhyuk's eyes close as he calculates his next desperate resource. They halt before the imposing chamber, confirming the monster's presence. Lucia confirms the elaborate doors guard the chamber's powerful boss. Jinhyuk demands the secret, but Lucia speaks of the wizard's hidden magic. Jinhyuk pauses, filled with sudden doubt about their dangerous journey. Lucia demands readiness. The powerful boss monster is approaching now. Jinhyuk asks his role. Lucia dismissively tells him to wait for her blow. Lucia insists she can handle the fight, but giant armored steps prove her wrong. A colossal, heavily armored boss monster crashes down with stunning force, truly, insanely strong. Lucia stands firm against the titan, announcing this fight is not too much for her. The half-elf draws her bow with burning focus. This is what we call aura. Jinhyuk Kang watches, stunned by the sudden deployment of Lucia's overwhelming strength. Lucia launches a swift, blinding attack against the massive armored monster. The half-elf Lucia watches her perfect, powerful shot land with confidence. Intense bursts of light erupt as the focused energy pierces the armor. The explosive force continues, tearing through the defenses of the huge foe. The colossal monster collapses heavily backward under the immense, sudden power. Jinhyuk is shocked. She took down that massive bastard with a single shot. Jin Hyuk asks if this is the powerful skill Lucia plans to teach him. Lucia assures Jin Hyuk he can achieve this power by learning to wield aura. Lucia showcases terrifying aura power, destroying the massive monster instantly. Jin Hyuk Kang remains completely stunned by Lucia's overwhelming display of might. Lucia confirms Jin Hyuk will learn this devastating aura mastery technique. Lucia unleashes powerful aura, destroying the formidable boss monster instantly. Jin Hyuk Kang watches, completely stunned by Lucia's overwhelming display of raw power. Lucia confirms the technique, promising Jin Hyuk he can master this technique. Lucia showcases terrifying aura power, destroying the massive monster instantly. Jin Hyuk Kang remains completely stunned by Lucia's overwhelming display of might. Lucia confirms Jin Hyuk will learn this devastating aura mastery technique. Jin Hyuk unleashes a massive, enchanted strike directly against the orc's armored face. The immense creature collapses violently under the overpowering force of the blow. Lucia immediately draws her bow, demanding Jin Hyuk commit to learning the technique. The hunter strikes the orc with a devastating, crushing blow, utilizing his enchanted bat. The wizard taunts Jin Hyuk Kang, daring him to strike with even more powerful hits. Jin Hyuk roars, asking the enraged dwarf if he has earned a higher reward now. A second orc launches a brutal, surprise ambush from the shadows of the dark cavern. Jin Hyuk retaliates fiercely, slamming his weapon into the ambushing enemy's armored head. The hunter celebrates victory over two orcs, triggering an unprecedented massive level surge. Jin Hyuk Kang aggressively renegotiates the deal, shaking the stunned black market crew. 150 right arrow, 185 level up, flashes across a blue holographic screen. Jin Hyuk breathes a heavy sigh that took longer than expected. Jin Hyuk climbs over rubble, wondering how to summon this aura ability. Lucia demands to know if Jin Hyuk's holy power was just wielded as aura. The silver-haired Lucia confirms Jin Hyuk's holy power actually manifested as aura. Jin Hyuk boasts of his fast progress, ready to master the powerful new aura technique. Lucia expresses excitement about Jin Hyuk's rapid, impressive mastery of the dual power. What are we waiting for then? Jin Hyuk shouts, eager for the next combat challenge. A commanding voice declares that this situation is absolutely unprecedented before. The powerful woman licks her lips, demanding, "You pay your tuition." The bright, modern cityscape indicates a bustling urban area under surveillance. The wizard questions where the abnormal radio signal was last detected. A subordinate quickly confirms the location is near Gangnam Station, sir. Hyena Lee reveals the fearsome monster may appear within the next 5 days. The guildmaster asserts his absolute authority, swiftly terminating subordinate and executives debate securing the powerful hunter Jin Hyuk Kang, noting his explosive skill. Jin Hyuk Kang, ignoring attention, returns home to confront his quickly dwindling finances. Driven by necessity, the hunter immediately sprints back into his dangerous private dungeon portal. A stern man announces Jin Hyuk Kang is not the target, surprising the angry guild leader. The guild leader violently directs brutality toward the young, seated, blonde victim instead. The ruthless guild leader demands the beaten blonde victim immediately submit to questioning. Jin Hyuk Kang receives a concerned query about throwing a massive party. "Looks like you've got your hands full," the Titan representative remarks. Jin Hyuk sighs, wishing that statement reflected his current state of affairs. The representative refocuses, asking about Jin Hyuk's decision on the Titan proposal. Jin Hyuk repeats his firm stance, "I think I made myself clear." Doyeon and shifts tactics, suggesting Jin Hyuk consider a mercenary gig instead. Jin Hyuk Kang receives a concerned query about throwing a massive party. "Looks like you've got your hands full," the Titan representative remarks. Jin Hyuk sighs, wishing that statement reflected his current state of affairs. Jin Hyuk Kang receives a concerned query about throwing a massive party. Looks like you've got your hands full, the Titan representative remarks. Jin-hyuk sighs, wishing that statement reflected his current state of affairs. Jin-hyuk Kang receives a concerned query about throwing a massive party. Looks like you've got your hands full, the Titan representative remarks. Jin-hyuk sighs, wishing that statement reflected his current state of affairs. The representative refocuses, asking about Jin-hyuk's decision on the Titan proposal. Jin-hyuk Kang receives a concerned query about throwing a massive party. Looks like you've got your hands full, the Titan representative remarks. Jin-hyuk sighs, wishing that statement reflected his current state of affairs. The representative refocuses, asking about Jin-hyuk's decision on the Titan proposal. Jin-hyuk repeats his firm stance, I think I made myself clear. Doyeon and shifts tactics, suggesting Jin-hyuk consider a mercenary gig instead. The hunter delivers a devastating blow, observing a massive orc clan approaching. Jin-hyuk unleashes a fierce offensive, slaughtering 20 orcs with brutal, enhanced power. Jin-hyuk spots an eerie staircase, resolutely plunging deeper into the forbidden labyrinth. He enters the Silent Guardian's temple, instantly registering a critical new warp point. A sudden, unseen force violently slams Jin-hyuk backward against the ancient stone ruins. A soft sound indicates the successful transmission between the hands connecting. A stern voice whispers, he's more gifted than I had imagined. The two figures face each other within the ancient, torchlit chamber. The holy power coursing through him is extraordinary, the woman thinks. She continues, at this rate, he may well master all fundamentals within the day. The MC states the current feeling is still very fuzzy, looking down. Jin-hyuk Kang accepts Lucia's powerful lesson regarding his intrinsic holy power connection. Lucia firmly states his holy power intrinsically manifests as the formidable aura energy. Jin-hyuk boasts of his impressive progress, eagerly anticipating mastering this new dual power. Lucia expresses excitement, confirming Jin-hyuk's rapid mastery, demands immediate training commence. The archer violently assaults Jin-hyuk, demanding proof of his secret dungeon entry. Jin-hyuk struggles, but reveals his modern world origin to the confused silver-haired archer. Lucia realizes the dungeon dimensionally crossed worlds, momentarily dropping her aggressive posture. Jin-hyuk joins Lucia's quest, aiming to defeat the boss guarding the crucial secret chamber. Lucia showcases devastating aura power, destroying the massive monster instantly with one shot. Jin-hyuk Kang confirms his holy power manifests as the powerful, devastating aura energy. Lucia demands Jin-hyuk concentrate to harness the power flowing through him. The MC strains, trying to feel the immense power Lucia just explained. A terrifying orc charges Jin-hyuk Kang, forcing an immediate, desperate clash. Jin-hyuk unleashes massive power, instantly leveling up multiple times from his desperate struggle. The hunter screams, realizing this much power feels impossibly overwhelming right now. Lucia insists Jin-hyuk already uses aura through his defensive Holy Shield skill. Jin-hyuk forcefully rejects the instruction, shouting, well, I beg to *****ing differ. Lucia opens her mouth wide, urgently shouting for him to analyze the sensation now. Jin-hyuk screams in pain, defensively shouting, Ga, Holy Shield, as the ability activates. A massive disk of shimmering energy erupts violently from Jin-hyuk's outstretched hand. Jin-hyuk internally struggles, asking what he is supposed to analyze about an instinctive shield. He grimaces, shielding himself from a terrifying, massive stone monster's attack. Jin-hyuk focuses intensely, reaching out his hand, feeling a strange pull now. He holds his breath, then exclaims, hold on, I just felt something. Jin-hyuk concentrates hard, extending his hand as energy pushes outward in a wave. He senses external energy flowing into his hand, wondering if this is holy power. Jin-hyuk Kang struggles intensely, trying to grasp Lucia's complex new power concept. Lucia watches Jin-hyuk closely, demanding he analyze the sensation flowing through him. Jin-hyuk shields himself from a massive attack, focusing on the external energy flow. He senses strange new power rushing into his hand from an unseen external source. Jin-hyuk concentrates hard, extending his hand as energy pushes outward like a shield. He holds his breath, exclaiming that he finally feels something unusual happening now. Jin-hyuk realizes this power feels incredibly similar to his old Holy Shield ability. He furiously blocks a massive stone attack, realizing his holy power is transforming. Jin-hyuk struggles to channel the newly explained aura through his existing Holy Shield. Lucia presses him to focus harder on the raw sensation of the external power. Jin-hyuk strains, grasping the complex revelation while facing ongoing, desperate threat. He forcefully blocks a massive stone attack, realizing his holy power is transforming now. Jin-hyuk focuses intensely, feeling strange new power rushing into his extending hand. He senses external energy flowing, wondering if this connection is his true holy power. Jin-hyuk concentrates hard, pushing outward as energy expands like a shield. He holds his breath, exclaiming that he finally feels something unusual happening. Jin-hyuk realizes the power feels incredibly similar to his old Holy Shield ability. He furiously blocks the stone attack, recognizing the aggressive transformation of his power. Jin-hyuk screams defensively, shouting, "Ga, Holy Shield," as the ability fully activates. Jin-hyuk struggles to channel the new aura power through his old Holy Shield. Lucia demands focus. Jin-hyuk grasps his holy power is transforming into aura. The hunter desperately tries to control the strange new energy erupting outward. Jin-hyuk screams as the familiar Holy Shield barrier manifests strangely. He focuses, feeling external energy rush through his hand like a strange current. Jin-hyuk realizes his holy power is actively merging with the powerful aura energy. The hunter grips the incoming power, ready to unleash his newly merged ability. Jin-hyuk struggles to manifest aura through his familiar Holy Shield barrier ability. Lucia demands he focus, realizing his holy power is merging with external energy. Jin-hyuk strains, feeling strange new power rush through his extending hand forcefully. He screams as the familiar Holy Shield barrier manifests with intense, vibrant energy. Jin-hyuk grasps the connection, ready to wield this overwhelming new merged power. An explosion rocks the chamber as Jin-hyuk and Lucia face a terrifying, unseen enemy. An unseen threat shouts, mockingly asking if Jin-hyuk thought the danger was finished. The misty darkness envelops Jin-hyuk as ominous footsteps begin rapidly approaching. Jin-hyuk's eyes snap open, recognizing two glowing pairs of eyes emerging from the fog. Jin-hyuk fiercely concentrates, channeling raw power into his defensive shield ability. A hulking figure lunges through the mist, its sharp tusks bared aggressively. The dwarf roars, demanding Jin-hyuk stop touching his incredibly rare orichalcan weapon. Jin-hyuk, stunned, accepts the aggressive accusation before the dwarf shoves a necklace. Jin-hyuk fiercely grabs the glowing red necklace, wearing it without any hesitation. The setting shifts indoors as Mr. Joe asks if everything is all right. Mr. Kang drinks rapidly while stating things are just fine. His hand taps the cold drink down onto the table with finality. Mr. Kang wipes his face, admitting he is overworked a bit. Mr. Joe coldly questions the excuse, looking deeply unimpressed. He concludes by agreeing to purchase all orc and kobold remains. Mr. Joe Hyung-il questions Jin-hyuk Kang's tired appearance after the successful transaction. The mysterious silver-haired archer tests Jin-hyuk's latent power with piercing intensity. Lucia demands Jin-hyuk analyze the strange, potent sensation flowing through him now. Jin-hyuk fiercely rejects the concept while facing a terrifying, massive monster threat. A massive disk of shimmering energy erupts violently from Jin-hyuk's outstretched hand. He concentrates, feeling external power rushing into his hand like a strange current. Jin-hyuk realizes his holy power is actively merging with the incoming aura. A strange, powerful shield barrier manifests, confirming Jinhyuk's dual power breakthrough. Jinhyuk Kang struggles to channel new aura energy through his defensive Holy Shield ability. Lucia demands focus, realizing his holy power is merging with strange external energy. A strange, powerful shield barrier manifests, confirming Jinhyuk's immense breakthrough. Jinhyuk Kang checks his phone, questioning if the day has truly arrived. A sudden loud sound is heard outside as Jinhyuk looks toward the window. Jinhyuk peers out, asking in shock about the grand-scale monster attack. He quickly dismisses the news, stating the attack was not supposed to happen yet. Tired, Jinhyuk collapses onto his bed, ready to ignore the unfolding situation. The hunter immediately springs up, ignoring the disastrous monster alert outside. A frantic, injured hunter screams desperately for any available cleric backup now. Jinhyuk calmly offers aid, confirming his unexpected, newly promoted Class C cleric status. Jinhyuk defends the rear line, brutally slamming his weapon into a charging lizardman. He single-handedly holds the line, surprising the panicked support staff with his immense strength. The mighty Class S Guildmaster Sangho Seo brutally annihilates the remaining lizard horde. A hulking figure lunges through the mist, its sharp tusks bared aggressively. The dwarf roars, demanding Jinhyuk stop touching his incredibly rare orichalcan weapon. Jinhyuk, stunned, accepts the aggressive accusation before the dwarf shoves a necklace. Jinhyuk fiercely grabs the glowing red necklace, wearing it without any hesitation. The setting shifts indoors as Mr. Joe asks if everything is all right. Mr. Kang drinks rapidly while stating things are just fine. His hand taps the cold drink down onto the table with finality. Mr. Kang wipes his face, admitting he is overworked a bit. Mr. Joe coldly questions the excuse, looking deeply unimpressed. Master, a warning echoes, you never know where threats will suddenly appear. The ground shakes violently as the powerful Master strikes a massive monster. The imposing figure remarks that his exhausted allies are about to reach their limit. Teammates comment wildly on the monster's savage power and the single jab knockout. The powerful deputy guildmaster notes Jinhyuk is almost at his absolute limit. The female attendant quietly states he cannot maintain this pace for very long. She worries aloud, if there's even one more hunter who can back him up. Suddenly, her eyes widen in shock as an unexpected new development unfolds. Jinhyuk unleashes a ferocious swing, shattering a monster with a loud impact. Who is it? Hyena Lee identifies herself and asks if Jinhyuk Kang is on the line. Jinhyuk questions the call, wondering about the sudden monster attack Titan faces. Jinhyuk expresses shock at Hyena Lee's knowledge of his proximity to the danger. The mysterious Hyena Lee questions Jinhyuk Kang about his proximity to the ongoing battle. Jinhyuk questions the call, shocked they tracked his exact location near the danger. Hyena Lee states they must reach out despite past unpleasant experiences with him. Jinhyuk unleashes a ferocious swing, shattering a monster with a loud impact. Hyena Lee presses Jinhyuk Kang about his location near the recent Titan Guild incident. Lucia demands Jinhyuk analyze the strange, potent sensation flowing through him now. Jinhyuk fiercely rejects the concept while facing a terrifying, massive monster threat. A strange, powerful shield barrier manifests, confirming Jinhyuk's dual power breakthrough. Jinhyuk Kang intensely channels his raw power against the ferocious, charging orc horde. Lucia demands Jinhyuk analyze the new sensation flowing through his defensive holy shield. Jinhyuk screams as his familiar shield barrier manifests with strange, potent energy now. Two glowing eyes emerge from the fog, representing a terrifying, unseen monster threat. Jinhyuk fiercely concentrates power into his shield, just as a hulking figure lunges. Jinhyuk Kang intensely channels his raw power against the ferocious, charging orc horde. Lucia demands Jinhyuk analyze the new sensation flowing through his defensive holy shield. Jin-hyuk screams as his familiar shield barrier manifests with strange, potent energy now. Two glowing eyes emerge from the fog, representing a terrifying, unseen monster threat. Jin-hyuk fiercely concentrates power into his shield, just as a hulking figure lunges. An explosion rocks the chamber as Jin-hyuk and Lucia face a terrifying, unseen enemy. An unseen threat shouts, mockingly asking if Jin-hyuk thought the danger was finished. Two glowing eyes emerge from the fog, representing a terrifying, unseen monster threat. A text bubble calls out the name Jin-hyuk Kang into the white void. Jin-hyuk Kang launches forward, smiling down at a distant woman below. The woman observes that his success against the deputy master means little. She hopes that Guildmaster Seo's faith in Jin-hyuk was not misplaced. A powerful red energy surge streaks rapidly across the dark background. Jin-hyuk powerfully strikes a massive orc with a glowing staff weapon. The brute orc is momentarily stunned, grunting in confusion at the attack. Just as Jin-hyuk thought, new skills make even high-level monsters a joke. The others stare, questioning who this powerful individual must really be. He dropped that massive ogre in one hit, surely a Class A hunter minimum. Jin-hyuk walks away, confirming that at this moment he feels much stronger. I am stronger than any Class A hunter, thanks to these new skills. Jin-hyuk Kang struggles intensely to fuse his inherent holy power with the new aura. Lucia aggressively demands Jin-hyuk analyze the strange, potent sensation flowing through him now. He screams as the familiar holy shield barrier manifests with intense, vibrant energy. Jin-hyuk grasps the connection, ready to wield this overwhelming new merged power. An explosion rocks the chamber as Jin-hyuk and Lucia face a terrifying, unseen enemy. An unseen threat shouts, mockingly asking if Jin-hyuk thought the danger was finished. Two glowing eyes emerge from the fog, representing a terrifying, unseen monster threat. Jin-hyuk struggles to focus, urged to analyze the strange new power sensation. Lucia demands Jin-hyuk channel his holy power into the terrifying aura energy now. Jin-hyuk screams, defensively shouting his familiar holy shield ability activates instantly. He focuses intently, feeling external power rush into his hand like a strange current. A strange, powerful shield barrier manifests with intense, vibrant, blinding energy. Jin-hyuk grasps the powerful connection, ready to wield his overwhelming new merged power. An explosion rocks the chamber as Jin-hyuk and Lucia face a terrifying, unseen enemy. What a nuisance, the MC muses while observing the city from a distance. Kargh. A bloodied figure groans in agony after taking a brutal, unseen impact. A monstrous, snarling beast roars intensely, its glowing eyes burning with animalistic hunger. The wizard's face appears sternly, confirming the terrible situation is not good. Two massive figures crash into the area, their heavy footsteps vibrating the ground powerfully. The hunter realizes his mana is critically low, making this the worst possible time. The enraged lizardman boss raises its weapon for a final, crushing, devastating swing. The hunter realizes he must find somewhere safe to refill his quickly depleting power stores. A furious dwarf screams about Jin-hyuk, touching his incredibly rare orichalcan weapon. Jin-hyuk grabs the glowing red necklace, wearing it without any hesitation immediately. Mr. Joe questions Jin-hyuk Kang's tired appearance after the successful market transaction. The imposing dwarf demands Jin-hyuk stop touching his weapon, calling him a thief. Jin-hyuk confirms the bat is now orichalcan, glowing violently with enchanted crimson energy. A second orc launches a brutal, surprise ambush from the dark cavern shadows. Jin-hyuk unleashes a fierce offensive, slaughtering 20 orcs with brutal, enhanced power. He sees a mysterious staircase, resolutely plunging deeper into the forbidding labyrinth. Explosions rip through the temple as Jin-hyuk and Lucia fight the massive golem. Jin-hyuk lands a final blow, finally destroying the reforming, massive stone monster. An unseen attacker suddenly crashes into the area, forcing Jinhyuk and Lucia to brace. Jinhyuk struggles to channel new aura power through his familiar defensive holy shield. The fierce archer Lucia demands Jinhyuk analyze the strange, potent energy sensation flowing now. Jinhyuk Kang must now use his new aura power to strike down the approaching, monstrous threat. The giant golem reforms, smashing the ground with its heavy stone fist. Jinhyuk blocks the attack, realizing the massive monster will not stay defeated. A brilliant projectile strikes the core, shattering the colossal stone beast instantly. Jinhyuk calls out, thanking the powerful archer who just suddenly saved him. The fierce silver-haired archer immediately attacks Jinhyuk, demanding to know his identity. Jinhyuk Kang struggles intensely against an unseen foe within the echoing dungeon shadows. Lucia demands Jinhyuk analyze the strange, potent energy flowing through his defensive shield. The hunter screams as his holy shield manifests with intense, vibrant new power. An explosion rocks the chamber as they face a terrifying, unseen enemy threat together. A report screams of a massive Titan Guild monster breached near Gangnam Station. Jinhyuk, using his unexpected cleric power, desperately shields falling guild members. Jinhyuk Kang intensely channels strange, surging power through his defensive holy shield. Lucia demands Jinhyuk analyze the merging energy within his defensive barrier now. Jinhyuk screams as the familiar shield manifests with intense, vibrant new power. He finally grasps the connection, ready to wield this overwhelming, merged energy. An explosion rocks the chamber as Jinhyuk and Lucia face an unseen enemy. The unseen threat mockingly asks if Jinhyuk truly believed the danger was finished. Two glowing eyes emerge from the fog, representing a terrifying, massive new threat. Jinhyuk struggles to focus, urged to analyze the strange new power sensation intensely. Lucia demands Jinhyuk channel his holy power into the devastating aura energy now. Jinhyuk screams, defensively activating his familiar holy shield ability instantly. A formal briefing shows Titan Guild executives gathered around a large conference table. Guild Director Yonseok Han expresses disbelief regarding the assigned Class C cleric. This subordinate hotly defends the cleric's impressive 300-yard skill range, Master. Guild Director Han expresses extreme doubt about the newly certified Class C cleric. The stern Titan Guild executives gather around the main conference table for urgent strategy. Guild Director Yonseok Han doubts the low-ranked Class C cleric's utility now. A fierce subordinate defends Jinhyuk Kang's incredible 300-yard skill range vehemently. The silver-haired figure observes Jinhyuk Kang's incredible, inherent holy power with quiet intensity. She steps closer, testing his connection to the nascent aura sensation she recently imparted. The MC admits the feeling is fuzzy as she draws near, challenging him to grasp it. Lucia firmly states Jinhyuk's holy power intrinsically manifests as devastating aura energy. Jinhyuk fiercely rejects the concept while facing a terrifying, massive monster threat. A strange, powerful shield barrier manifests, confirming Jinhyuk's dual power breakthrough. Jinhyuk Kang struggles to channel new aura energy through his defensive holy shield ability. It's so huge, I could shoot it with my eyes shut. The immense leviathan looms as Jinhyuk and Lucia stare upward. The ground rumbles deeply as Jinhyuk questions the unexpected size. Yes, Mr. Kang. A nervous subordinate inquires over the urgent radio transmission. The hunter confirms everything is handled before a new task is issued to him. The massive convoy of black-armored military vehicles speeds aggressively through city traffic. Mr. Kang questioned if Jinhyuk Kang can absolutely cover all the ensuing, inevitable structural damage. Jinhyuk Kang struggles intensely to merge his inherent holy power with the new aura. Lucia demands focus, confirming his holy power transforms into devastating aura energy now. Jinhyuk screams as his familiar holy shield barrier manifests with vibrant, strange energy. He focuses, feeling external power rush through his hand like a powerful, strange current. The breakthrough is complete, ready to wield this overwhelming, newly merged combat power. An explosion rocks the chamber, facing a terrifying, unseen enemy emerging from the darkness. Two glowing eyes materialize from the fog, confirming a massive new threat is near. Two high-speed projectiles approach the massive flying target with incredible velocity. Impact is imminent as the estimated time to target is reduced to mere seconds. A massive creature is struck directly. Observers confirm the target is immediately falling. The mysterious silver-haired figure watches Jinhyuk Kang's intense struggle to merge powers. Lucia demands Jinhyuk analyze the strange, potent sensation flowing through his defensive shield now. Jinhyuk screams as his familiar holy shield barrier manifests with intense, vibrant energy. He focuses, feeling external power rush through his hand like a powerful, strange current. The breakthrough is complete, ready to wield this overwhelming, newly merged combat power. An explosion rocks the chamber as they face a terrifying, unseen enemy emerging from darkness. Two glowing eyes materialize from the fog, confirming a massive new threat is near. You can thank Lucia with sweets, and here is your trinket. A hand catches the small item, confirming Jinhyuk kept it as instructed. Does that really count as proof of your hunt? That's how it works in our world. Don't trust anyone too much. Jinhyuk Kang struggles to focus, urged by Lucia to analyze the strange power. Lucia demands Jinhyuk channel his holy power into the devastating aura energy now. Jinhyuk screams as his familiar holy shield barrier manifests with vibrant energy. An explosion rocks the chamber as they face a terrifying, unseen enemy threat. The mysterious silver-haired archer tests Jinhyuk's latent power with piercing intensity. Lucia demands Jinhyuk analyze the strange, potent sensation flowing through him now. Jinhyuk fiercely rejects the concept while facing a terrifying, massive monster threat. A strange, powerful shield barrier manifests, confirming Jinhyuk's dual power breakthrough. Jinhyuk Kang intensely channels his raw power against the ferocious, charging orc horde. The stern deputy guildmaster pressures Jinhyuk Kang after the recent Titan Guild disaster. Jinhyuk loudly rejects the offer, criticizing the arrogant, experienced hunter's poor leadership. The enraged hunter unleashes a furious, overwhelming, power-infused crimson strike against Jinhyuk. There's no way the count was fiddled with, the wizard insists firmly. Well, good, then go back home and wait for your payment. The wizard aggressively confronts Jinhyuk Kang, while his allies loom nearby. I happen to have an agreement with Mr. Seal. As the one who took down the Leviathan, I'll be collecting its remains. If you don't believe me, ask him. There's no way the count was fiddled with, the wizard insists firmly. Well, good, then go back home and wait for your payment. The wizard aggressively confronts Jinhyuk Kang, while his allies loom nearby. I happen to have an agreement with Mr. Seal. As the one who took down the Leviathan, I'll be collecting its remains. If you don't believe me, ask him. A furious executive interrupts, loudly dismissing Jinhyuk's low-rank Class D status. Jinhyuk publicly rejects the Titan Guild offer, insulting the deputy guildmaster Doyon-en. The angry Doyon-en furiously berates subordinate and for failing to call backup. Jinhyuk Kang demands payment for the supporting clerics before the tense argument concludes. Class S Guildmaster Sang-ho Seo arrives, offering Jinhyuk profound, respectful gratitude. The enraged dwarf aggressively questions Jinhyuk Kang about the powerful, glowing crimson weapon. Jinhyuk Kang proudly displays his newly enhanced orichalcon bat to the wizard. Jinhyuk Kang awakens exhausted, groaning from his prolonged recovery time. He questions how long he has been asleep, already feeling intensely starved. Lucia bursts in, happily announcing Jinhyuk's awakening after 2 days. Jinhyuk Kang jolts awake, groaning from 2 days of intense, relentless dungeon combat. Lucia, already awake, cheerfully eats hearty rations, asking about Jinhyuk's profound growth. Jin-hyuk questions the connection between his holy power and the new aura energy. Lucia commands him to focus, demanding more strange, modern chocolate bars for training. Jin-hyuk struggles to focus his new merged power against the terrifying emerging threat. The silver-haired archer demands Jin-hyuk analyze the strange, potent sensation flowing now. Jin-hyuk screams as his familiar holy shield barrier manifests with intense, vibrant energy. He focuses intently, feeling external power rush into his hand like a powerful, strange current. A strange, powerful shield barrier manifests, confirming Jin-hyuk's massive power breakthrough. Jin-hyuk Kang struggles intensely, merging his holy power with the new aura energy. Lucia fiercely demands Jin-hyuk analyze the strange, potent sensation flowing through him. Jin-hyuk screams as his familiar holy shield barrier manifests with vibrant energy. A massive, unseen enemy emerges, threatening Jin-hyuk Kang and Lucia instantly. Jin-hyuk struggles to channel the new aura through his defensive holy shield ability. Lucia demands focus, noting Jin-hyuk's holy power is merging with external energy. Jin-hyuk screams as the familiar shield barrier manifests with intense, vibrant energy. A massive, unseen enemy emerges, threatening Jin-hyuk Kang and Lucia instantly. Jin-hyuk must use his new aura power to strike down the approaching monstrous threat. You're quick to catch on. Lucia demands Jin-hyuk analyze the strange, potent sensation flowing through him now. Jin-hyuk screams as his familiar holy shield barrier manifests with intense, vibrant energy. The furious dwarf aggressively questions Jin-hyuk Kang about the powerful, glowing crimson weapon. Jin-hyuk Kang struggles to analyze the merging power under Lucia's sharp observation. His holy power transforms into aura, manifesting a strange, powerful defensive shield barrier. This sudden surge of new energy immediately draws a colossal, unseen, terrifying enemy. Jin-hyuk is interrupted by a frantic phone call about an urgent monster breach alert. Lucia impatiently asks Jin-hyuk why he is not eating his current ration. The silver-haired archer demands Jin-hyuk analyze the strange, potent sensation flowing now. Jin-hyuk screams as his familiar holy shield barrier manifests with intense, vibrant energy. His holy power is merging with external energy, confirming Jin-hyuk's massive breakthrough. An explosion rocks the chamber as Jin-hyuk and Lucia face a terrifying, unseen enemy. Titan Guild executives convene in crisis, choosing to scapegoat Deputy Master and immediately. Jin-hyuk Kang struggles to fuse his holy power with the new, devastating aura energy. Jin-hyuk tries thanking Lucia, who attacks him with fierce, aggressive suspicion. Lucia demands exit proof. Jin-hyuk reveals modern soul origins, stunning the elf. Lucia agrees to an alliance, demanding aura training in exchange for the secret. Their combined assault overwhelms orcs, confirming Lucia's terrifyingly superior martial power. Jin-hyuk notices the ground vibrating, signaling a massive new escalation in danger. Jin-hyuk recalls his sudden Class C cleric promotion and the ensuing Titan Guild chaos. Jin-hyuk Kang struggles intensely to fuse his inherent holy power with the new aura. Lucia demands Jin-hyuk analyze the strange, potent sensation flowing through his barrier now. The furious dwarf yells, demanding Jin-hyuk stop touching his incredibly rare orichalcon weapon. Jin-hyuk grabs the glowing red necklace, wearing it without any hesitation immediately. The dwarf aggressively questions Jin-hyuk Kang about the powerful, glowing crimson weapon. Jin-hyuk proudly displays his newly enhanced orichalcon bat to the wizard. Jin-hyuk Kang argues defensively about the origins of his newly enhanced weapon. Jin-hyuk Kang struggles intensely to focus his holy power, urged by Lucia. Lucia fiercely demands Jin-hyuk analyze the potent sensation flowing through him now. Jin-hyuk screams as his familiar holy shield barrier manifests with vibrant energy. His holy power merges with external energy, confirming Jin-hyuk's massive breakthrough. An explosion rocks the chamber as they face a terrifying, unseen enemy threat. two glowing eyes emerge from the fog, confirming a massive new threat approaches.